Japanese parents are doing something that the rest of the world hasn't quite figured out yet. If you've ever watched Japanese kids in public, you've probably noticed something. They're calm. They're self-sufficient. They clean up after themselves, they wait their turn, and they're not having meltdowns in the middle of the supermarket. And in this video, you're going to learn exactly how Japanese parents make that happen. 7 rules that are simple, learnable, and that any parent can start using today. So let's start with the foundation of it all. Rule 1. Prevent problems before they start. In Japan, there's a word called Shitsuke. It roughly translates to discipline, but not in the way we think of it in the West. In Western culture, discipline usually means consequences. You act up, something bad happens. You act up again, something worse happens. Repeat until the child stops. But Shitsuke isn't about consequences at all. It's about prevention. Most of us fall into the same cycle without even realizing it. We wait for our kids to act up, and then we react. We punish, lecture, or bargain with them. And for a little while, it works. Until it doesn't, and we're back to square one. Sound familiar? Shitsuke flips that completely. Instead of reacting to bad behavior, Japanese parents get ahead of it. They actively teach the behaviors they want to see before there's ever a problem. They're not putting out fires. They're fireproofing the house. That means modeling good manners at the dinner table before your child ever gets it wrong. It means practicing how to greet someone before you arrive at a social situation. It means teaching your child how to handle frustration before frustration has a chance to take over. Think of it this way. A Japanese parent doesn't wait until their child is screaming in a shop to address the behavior. They've already practiced what happens in a shop, at home, many times over. By the time the real situation arrives, the child already knows what to do. Here's something fascinating. In one study, Japanese and European mothers were each given the same task: help your child build a pyramid out of blocks. The European mums explained how to do it, demonstrated briefly, and then handed it over to the child to figure out. The Japanese mums did something different. They built the entire pyramid themselves, slowly and carefully, without saying a word. Then they took it apart and asked their child to copy exactly what they'd seen. That difference might sound small on the surface, but it reveals something fundamental about how Japanese parents think about teaching. In Japan, the dominant approach is, do it the way I do, not, I'll explain it and you give it a go. Parents don't just set rules and expectations. They embody them, visibly and consistently, so that their children have a living example to follow. And this goes beyond tasks and puzzles. It applies to everything. If you want a calm child, you have to be calm, especially when you're frustrated. If you want a respectful child, you have to be respectful, even when it's hard. If you don't want your child to shout when they're angry, then you can't shout when you're angry either. That's a high bar. But it's also the most honest version of parenting there is, because your kids are watching you far more than they're listening to you, always. And as we'll explore further on in the video, Japanese parents take that idea somewhere most Western parents would never think to go. This one surprises a lot of people, because Japanese parenting actually starts with something that looks like the complete opposite of independence. Total, almost constant closeness. Japanese mothers spend the first 2 years of their child's life almost entirely by their side. Co-sleeping is the norm. Carrying the baby throughout the day is the norm. Being present, available, and responsive around the clock. That's the norm. One study found that Japanese mothers spend an average of just 2 hours per week apart from their baby. Compare that to American mothers, who spend around 24 hours a week away. That's a staggering difference. To Western eyes, that level of closeness can look like overparenting, like you're setting yourself up to raise a dependent, clingy child who can't do anything on their own. But research tells a completely different story. That intense closeness in the first 2 years is directly linked to something called self-regulation, a child's ability to manage their own emotions, handle frustration without falling apart, wait patiently, and bounce back from setbacks. These are the exact qualities that make Japanese children look so calm and capable later on. The thinking behind it is actually beautifully simple. A child who feels completely secure, who has never had to wonder whether their parent will come, develops a deep internal sense of safety. And from that safety, real independence can grow. You have to fill the cup before the child can drink from it on their own. Earlier, we talked about how Japanese parents model the behavior they want to see. But it goes beyond actions. It extends to something far more subtle, the way they teach children to feel. When a Japanese child tries to break their toy, their parent doesn't snap, "Stop that, that's naughty." They say something like, "Oh, poor car, it's going to cry." Now, the first time you hear that, it might sound a little unusual, but stay with it, because there's real wisdom at work here. Japanese mothers are known for constantly reflecting back to their children how their actions affect the feelings of others, and not just people, objects, animals, the environment. From a very young age, children are guided to pause and consider, how does what I'm doing affect everything around me? This is the cornerstone of what makes Japanese society function the way it does. The legendary politeness, the consideration for others in public spaces, the quiet self-discipline. It all traces back to this. Group harmony isn't just a cultural value in Japan. It's actively parented into children, one small moment at a time. And what's clever about this approach is that it sidesteps the usual power struggle entirely. Instead of telling a child no and triggering resistance, you're inviting them to feel something. You're not shutting the behavior down, you're replacing it with awareness. That awareness sticks in a way that punishment simply doesn't. Japanese parenting follows a clear 3-stage philosophy, and once you understand it, everything else starts to click into place. Before the age of 5, children are given a huge amount of freedom. They're treated almost as perfect little beings, and very little is demanded of them in terms of rules and restrictions. To outsiders, this looks like spoiling, but that's not what's happening at all. This first stage is about building trust and attachment. The child learns, at the deepest possible level, that they are loved unconditionally. That foundation becomes the engine for everything that comes next. From 5 to 15, the dynamic shifts. Children begin learning the expectations of society, structure, responsibility, how to be part of a group, how to contribute. And because the bond from stage 1 is so strong, children actually want to live up to what's expected of them. They don't want to let their parents down. By 15, the child is treated as an equal, a full member of the family and of society. What's important to understand is that none of these stages exist in isolation. The freedom of stage 1 makes stage 2 possible. The responsibility of stage 2 makes stage 3 possible. It's not 3 separate approaches. It's one continuous journey with a clear destination. A young adult who is grounded, capable, and secure in who they are. But that journey only works if one thing is in place throughout every stage. And it's something most parents underestimate entirely, which takes us to Rule 6. Here's something that a lot of parents find genuinely surprising. We tend to think that keeping things flexible, going with the flow, not being too rigid, creates a relaxed, happy child. But the opposite turns out to be true. Think about it from a child's perspective for a moment. Imagine turning up to a new job and no one tells you what time you're supposed to arrive. No one explains what your role is, what the expectations are, or when meetings happen. You'd be anxious and on edge all day, every day. That uncertain, unsettled feeling? That's exactly what children experience when they don't have clear rules and consistent routines. Japanese parents set clear, simple expectations early, and they keep them consistent. Bedtimes are regular. Mealtimes are regular. Behavior in public is discussed and practiced in advance, not improvised on the spot. Children know what's expected, and they know what comes next. The result is a child who feels safe. And a child who feels safe isn't just happier. They're actually more capable of learning, more willing to try new things, and more resilient when things don't go to plan. Routine isn't the enemy of childhood. It's the scaffolding that lets children explore freely within it. This last one is the game changer, and it's deceptively simple. Most of us, when our kids act out, immediately ask, how do I stop this? We jump straight to the behavior, how to suppress it, correct it, or punish it. But Japanese parents ask a completely different question. They ask, what skill does my child need to learn here? Those are two very different questions, and they lead to two very different outcomes. When a child can't sit still in a restaurant, the Western instinct is often to remove the child, or to discipline them for disrupting others. The Japanese instinct is to ask, does this child actually know how to sit quietly for an extended period? Have they ever been taught how to do that? And if not, that's where we start. When a child has a meltdown because they can't have something they want, the question isn't, how do I shut this down? It's, does this child have the emotional tools to handle disappointment? Have we practiced that? If the answer is no, then the meltdown isn't defiance. It's a gap. And gaps can be filled. This is what makes the approach so powerful. Instead of an endless loop of bad behavior and punishment, you're actually solving the problem at the root. You teach the skill, you practice it, and over time, the behavior changes. Not because the child is afraid of consequences, but because they genuinely know what to do. That's the difference between compliance and capability. And Japanese parenting is firmly in the business of building capable kids. So there they are, 7 rules that shape some of the most independent, resilient kids in the world. And what ties them all together is this. Japanese parents aren't reacting to their children. They're building them, intentionally, from the very beginning. Raising a resilient, independent child isn't something that happens by accident. It's something you grow, carefully, consistently, one small moment at a time. Which of these 7 rules hit closest to home? Leave a comment below. It's always interesting to see which ones land differently depending on where you're at with your kids. And if this video resonated, the next one is worth watching too. 8 things parents say that damage their kids for life. Because chances are, there are things you're saying to your kids right now that are quietly working against everything you just learned. If you want more content like this, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is for parents who want to understand the why behind their children's behavior, not just the what.